Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Defense Measures, and today we are going to discuss our thumbnail topic that Indian Air Force has planned to upgrade Sukhoi 30 MKI to Super Sukhoi. So let's start the session. So this is the Sukhoi 57, one of the world's most advanced fighter aircraft, and it is made by the Russia. And Sukhoi, all the Sukhoi fighters are made by the Russia. This is the multi-role fighter which is capable of aerial combat and as well as ground and maritime strike also. This can also fire the super cruise missiles, supersonic missiles, and it is the twin engine, two seats fighter craft which is developed by the Russia. So this is the inventor of the Sukhoi. This is the person who designed the Sukhoi. Its name is Pavel Sukhoi. Yes, Sukhoi is named after this person. So he founded the Sukhoi Design Bureau in 1930 in the Soviet Union. In 1930, they decided to make a aircraft for to protect the nation, to protect the Soviet Union. He also made the design of the Tupolev aircraft and Sukhoi also. And these two companies, Irkut, this is also Russian company. These two companies made the Sukhoi 30, and India is using the Sukhoi 30 MKI variant, which is the variant of the Sukhoi 30. It has more capabilities than Sukhoi 30. It is also uh, it is also work on the maritime boundaries and the other. And this is the Sukhoi 30 MKI. NATO reporting name is the Flanker Edge, and it is also the two-seater and twin-jet multi-air-role superiority fighter, which is already I told you that it is developed by the Russian aircraft manufacturer Sukhoi Design Bureau and Irkut. And after that, it is also built under the license of the built of this Sukhoi is the Hindustan Aeronautic Limited for the Indian Air Force. And this is the variant Sukhoi 30 MKI, and the first Sukhoi 30 MKI is assembled in India and entered in the service with the Indian Air Force in November 2004. The IAF, the Indian Air Force, nearly has 260 of the Sukhoi 30 MKIs in their inventory as of the January 2022. And there are also the other versions of the Sukhoi 30s like Sukhoi 30 MKI, Sukhoi 27, Sukhoi 35, and Sukhoi 57. The most advanced is the Sukhoi Su 57, Sukhoi 57. So India has planned to upgrade this Sukhoi 30 to Super Sukhoi, and they add the features like artificial intelligence, the Astra missile, Virupaksha radar, and many other things. So let's talk about some features of the Sukhoi 30 MKI. So this is there are total crew members of the two, and the length of the Sukhoi is 21 meter, and the wingspan is 41.7, and the height is 6.36. And there is also the maximum takeoff weight of this Sukhoi is 38,000. It is approximately 39,000 kgs. It can take off with this much weight load with all the payload, all the missiles, all the firing machines. So it has that capability, and the maximum speed is 2120 kilometer per hour, 20 which is approximately 21 kilometer per hour, and the Mach 2 with the high altitude. And at the low altitude it can travel on 1.09, which is speed is around 1350 kilometer per hour, and the range which it can work is the 3000 kilometer, and the service ceiling of this aircraft is 17,000 meter. And Sukhoi 30 MKI has 500 meter of the runway. It can take off from the 500 meter of the runway, and for landing it can only need the 650-meter landing runway, and it can easily track the 15 targets at a time. 15, so much is that's why this MKI variant is so much advanced. Now India is working on to make a Super Sukhoi with the Virupaksha radar and Astra missile and the BrahMos missile to make it more. And this is the BrahMos missile. In Bay of Bengal, India already do the some training with this BrahMos missile, and they conducted this test in the Bay of Bengal, and this they are successful. This is the BrahMos missile that is in the Bay of Bengal. India already conducted a test on this BrahMos missile, and the Super Sukhoi. What we add in the Super Sukhoi? As we all know that India wants to become a Atmanirbhar. So from that Atmanirbhar initiative, India used this Astra missile. This is the air-to-air missile, which works on the beyond visual range (VV) technology. And so India added this Astra missile, air-to-air missile, and the BrahMos missile also, and also upgraded the cockpit to make it more artificial intelligent, infused, compact, multifunction. You can do the multitasking and voice activated control system. This is all made by the Hindustan Aeronautic Limited and the DRDO. So, and there is also the Virupaksha radar in it. The radar is basically on the tip of the nose of the present in the nose of the aircraft. So the question is why we need the modernization and the indigenization of this aircraft. Why we need to the self-reliant. So we need a modernization for the aircraft to threat the perception, to derivative of the threat of the perception, as well as the kind of the war that the country will fight. So that's why we need a modern technology, and there is need to we think whether the force multiply like air to air. We don't need to focus only on developing the fighters. We also need to work on our technologies like air to air refuel system, tracking of the enemies tracking. We also need to improve our radars, network communications, air to air refuelers. So we need a modernization in this aircraft, modernization in the Indian Air Force, and DRDO, HAL already working on this technologies. And other thing is that we also in this era in the according to the India is facing the two front war, first from the Pakistan and the China, and the so that's why we need a modernization as quickly as a possible. And the one more issue with the Indian Air Force is that the induction rate and the retirement rate, the induction rate of the fighter jets is much slower than their retirement rate. I hope you can understand. The induction rate means whenever the fighter is procured, and so it is very much slower because we have to import all the weapons fighters from the outside, and it creates so much tussle, and it so with that it takes load time, and there are some diplomatic hurdles also. So it makes the process of the procurement of our fighters so much time. So it needs to be considered what kind of the aircraft and the country need, whether all Rafale type and some lightweight. And so indigenization is important because we import our weapons, our tanks from the Russia, Israel, and the America. These are the major country who export weapons, tanks, and the France is also one of them. So we procure our weapons, tanks, aircraft from these countries, and there is so much diplomatic hurdle, and so that's why it creates so much time to procure our fighter jets. And so that's why we need a indigenization, and India is already working on this. India made IDX. IDX is the innovation for the defense excellence. It is under the Defense Innovation Organization, and its aim is the foster the innovation and the technology development in the defense and the aerospace sectors. It promotes the self-reliance. It engages with the startups. Yes, startups are also now show their ideas, their design to these IDEX. And there is also the individual innovators, and there are some private firms who are also interested in making the um, defense like fighter. They are also interested in defense, and they also wanted to make a defense equipments, defense weapons, fighters. And Tata, the companies like Tata and the Adani Aerospace, the Adani Aerospace already made their first drone, the Drishti S Starliner, for the Navy. And so these private firm are also interested in this defense sector to make India self-reliance. And it also IDX is also promote the schemes like Aditi, Sprint, which also promote the self-reliance and the modernization in the Indian defense forces. So in the conclusion, we need a innovation and the self-reliance and the modernization in the Indian defense forces, because it makes us less dependent on the other countries. It makes us independent and the self-reliance. Thank you. I hope you like the session.